in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy, howdy everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC, coming at you from the studio, aka the dining room table tonight. Gonna have to shoot this one indoors. You are going to be seeing this video. This is going to be my Tuesday video, but obviously I am shooting this Monday night. We are up dark and early tomorrow, and we have to go to Little Rock once again for tomorrow, I believe, is physical therapy. We actually got to make 2 trips to Little Rock this week, Tuesday and Thursday. So there was going to be no way to cut a video and edit one before, in the morning. I'd had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and that's not going to happen. So we are going to get you one in, get resourceful, and get one in tonight. But again, you'll be seeing this as my standalone Tuesday video. So, got a mail call today that has really, spoiler alert, it's going to be positive, really impressed me. And I want to do my initial impressions on the knife and see what you guys think. I know there'll probably already, I'm sure I'm not the first video on this knife. I know they are coming out now on the drop at all the vendors. And what are we talking about? Of course, we're talking about the tubed wonders. And we're talking about GEC, and in this case we're talking about the 96-21-25 pattern, and it is going to be in Traction Jigged Muslin Micarta, the one that I chose and actually caught on a drop. Mind-blowing, but this is pretty good. I have put everything back in here. Full disclosure, I have looked at this knife already, so this is not a true unboxing. I have seen this knife, but I did put it, all back in here where you could kind of see the whole, the whole kit and caboodles from tube to hand. But I have, full disclosure, already looked at this knife, coon fingered it, and somewhat got my thoughts on it. But we are going to go back through it. So we pop the top. Down inside, of course, you have your wax paper and knife, and in the very bottom there's these nice, well, as I drop it on the floor, the nice little desiccant pack down in there that's now on the floor, but that was in there too. So we will put the top back on that and get into this thing. Before I talk about this, I gotta tell you, I have had their GEC number 71 and the number 21. I've had one of each, and I've even had a 21, which is the large Saudi. If you guys aren't familiar with those numbers, the 21 and the 71. The 21 is the large, the 71 is the smaller of the two sodbuster style farm and field knives from GEC. And I have had one of each, and I've even had the 21, the large, and a lockback at one time or another. I have traded those away through the years, but I'm going to tell you, for every farm and field knife that I've handled by GEC, this one takes the cake. And I'm talking about this guy right here. And this is the aforementioned number 96, and this is a brand new pattern from Great Eastern Cutlery. We'll go ahead and get this thing open and get on into it. Check this thing out. Got a little oil on there. Right away, we'll just address the elephant in the room. Yes, that is supposed to be emulating tractor. This is the tractor knife, farm and field tool there that says on there, the etching. You can see that. And yes, this is supposed to emulate tractor tread, tractor tires. And I am here to tell you, those are not just black marks or something. This is, and I don't know if I can show you how deep that is, but these are pretty deep. This actually is tread, like they say, traction jigged. That is jigged, and you can definitely feel all those treads on this micarta here. Kind of polarizing. Some people may not like this for a tractor knife. I'm kind of in the fraternity of it's pretty awesome. That's pretty ingenious. I love it. They had two different ones. I was lucky enough, I caught one of these on the drop at one of the vendors, which is kind of mind-blowing in and of itself. But they had this one, and they actually had another one, had the traction, you know, the same kind of traction on it, but it was in orange Delrin. Orange Delrin, I believe. I don't think it was G10. I believe the other one was in orange Delrin. And this one definitely spoke to me. To me, the orange, the tread on the orange, the way they did it just didn't pop. I mean, you could see that, you know, what they were going for, you know, the tractor tread. But I mean, against this kind of creamy tan, if you will, background, this just really popped. And this is one I tried for and luckily scored. But I'm telling you, and I have sat down and gathered my thoughts. Like I said, this isn't, you know, that wasn't the first time it came out of this. Just wanted to show you how it was packaged. I have tried to find a flaw in this knife. And if you guys have watched me long, you know I can nitpick a little bit. And especially when you get up in the higher prices. When you pay more, you expect more. That's just how I am. You know, and some of these Great Eastern Cutleries can get up, you know, $200 or even $200 plus on the drop. And that's a pretty good chunk of change for a, you know, these are somewhat, you know, handmade. You know, you have people, you know, I think they said there's like 200 different times this thing's touched throughout, you know, the plant and the making of some of their knives. But it is a production knife. These aren't, you know, one-offs. These are not custom-made knives. They do still run them in batches, small batches, typically with Great Eastern Cutlery. But again, they are a production knife. And I am telling you, my eyes, these peepers, I haven't found a flaw yet. And I tried. I really tried. But we're just going to get into it and tell you guys, show you guys what I mean. And this is kind of my checklist. We'll kind of go through it together. First thing I do is I turn one around and I look at those back springs, those liners and your spring. And, you know, I could hold it up to light up here, whatever, and look. Nothing. I mean, seamless. Completely flush here. No stepping. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to come through, but that is flush, flush, flush in the closed position. These do have half stops. We'll get into that. Look how flush that is in half stop and full open. Just, you can run your finger on there and you just barely, and the only way you know, if you took your finger and ran it just right down, if you ran it just right down the back spring, you almost can't, and go onto the knife blade, you can't feel anything. The only thing you feel, if you run your finger across here, you do feel coming off the covers onto the blade, the thickness difference. But folks, that is flush. Look at how that blade, look at that. Look at how that blade meets up to that back spring. Blade choice, love that they went with a spear point. And if you could tell, if I can get my lighting right, maybe you can tell right there. It starts about this nail nick. There's even a swedge. Shoot, I'm not doing a very good job. Maybe if I back up, but there's even a swedge. Maybe you guys can see it. Starts about right here and goes all the way to the tip. Little touch of class on a farm and field. You know, a definite work knife. Has a little swedge. Long, beautiful spear point blade, and I know that is opinion driven, but I am a spear point junkie. One of arguably one of my, not arguably, because it's me that's saying it, one of my favorite blade shapes is a spear point. Love them, love them, love them. What else? Oh yeah, check out this spring termination back here. If I can hold that up there, look how straight that is. A lot of times you'll see these and they'll kind of be slanted, or they'll have like, a little curve, be wonky. Look how straight that is. Incredible. And since we're back there on that end of the knife, you guys should already know it's a Great Eastern Cutlery. Look at that. Dead balls, and that's what I should have done to start with. Dead balls down the middle on that centering, and again, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that spring termination right here. How straight across that is. Folks, this one is impressive. Half stops, very pinchable. As you can see, it has a little half moon, cat's eye, if you will, nail nick. Not really necessary. You have enough blade meat here to come bring that out, get your knife out, and let's just look. Well, let's go into full open. I'll let y'all check this out. Nice. And how about going into half stop? Boom. Look at that wall. And full close. Snaps home. Authoritative. Nice half stops. Everything nice and audible. They made this one, folks. I got to give it to them. And the one thing I thought I always, I can get one thing you can count on GEC to kind of leave you wanting a little bit on is sharpness. You've heard me say that before, and it is my one pet peeve. Uno, singular, only one I've ever had with Great Eastern Cutlery is, again, for the money paid, why do they come dull? This one was not dull, so I'm gonna have to give a little golf clap. Now, was it what we like, us knife guys? Was it knife guy sharp? It was not. But out of the tube, for once, I could take this and go cut something. It would cut paper. It would be a little, that sound, it ain't crisp, like gliding through paper. It would cut paper and not tear paper. It was sharp. I have hence touched it up and made it HT sharp, which is pretty much, even if they are ridiculously sharp, we have it in our coconuts that we can make it better anyway. You guys know I'm telling the truth. We're going to touch them up anyway. But for once, it was a sharp knife. It was sharp out of the tube. Again, not my sharp, but it is now. But in the past, I've had some that you almost, I'm going to turn the blade around, but you almost could have done this number with it like this and not cut yourself. And that is unacceptable. That is not finishing a knife. That knife is unfinished to me. And that used to drive me bonkers because some of these little babies can, they're coming up around $200. This one wasn't. This was very affordable. We'll get into that in a minute. But some of the upper end knives, they're $200 now on the drop or more. And there's no reason you pay $200 for a pocket knife and it don't come, and it don't cut you. Just save it. There's nothing you can say in the comments. You can come in and you can hit, there's nothing you can say to change my mind on that. That is an unfinished knife. This would cut. So, spent way too much time on that. But, bail, I guess that's an elephant in the room I haven't talked about. Comes with a bail. What do I think about that? Kind of indifferent. I can take it, I can leave it, and honestly, if I hated it, I probably could put a cut in it, and where they put that hole there, I could just take it all out and just have an open hole there if I wanted to do my own lanyard. Don't think I will. You know, this is there. I'm not going to alter it. It doesn't bother me one way or the other is what I'm saying. So you bail fans, if you love it, of course you're going to leave it alone. If you hate it, well, snip it and probably cut it off. You know what I'm saying? It's your knife. You paid for it. I kind of fall in the camp of Jimmy Crack Corn, and I really don't care. It's nice. It's executed nice. It's a bail. You could tie your own lanyard to this bail or whatever if you wanted that longer. Like I said, or cut it off. That is totally personal preference. Tang stamps. I don't know if we've done that yet. What all do we say here? Farm and field, tool. How do I get it best to show up for you guys? I don't know. I'll let y'all read it. Farm and field tool. I'm sure it probably says Titusville, PA. On the back side, you've got your GEC CAR for carbon and the model number. Of course, here on these pivots, your little bird's eye pivot here, you got Farm and Field, F&F USA on both sides. Cool little touch. Oh yeah, and one other thing. Of course, I said this is a brand new pattern, the 96 pattern. And to denote that, get that right, there we go. The 3 Ps, or is that 3 Ps, or I guess one of them would have to be something. First production run is what it is. It means it's the first one of its kind. So this is the first time there's ever been a 96 pattern, and that little symbol on the back denotes that it is a first production run of this model. So that's kind of cool to get in on the ground floor of these, I suppose. Price. These were, and shout out to Traditional Pocket Knives. crisner.com is where I caught these, and wasn't too terribly bad. These were $85, so under $100 on the drop. I think it was like $90 with shipping. So $85 for the knife, $5 for shipping. $90 is what came out of the old bank account to procure one of these. I mean, what's a sod buster? You know, a case sod buster, $40, $50. Other brands, I think a Saudi, typically, if you get USA made, Bear & Son, Moore Maker, probably what, you know, $35 to say $55. Okay, well, this is almost double. Do we have almost double or double the quality? Yep. Is it worth it? A lot of times I tell you that's up to you. And at the end of the day, it is up to you. Your value is your value. 1,000% yes for me. Love it, love it, love it. Love the traction. Love, you know, what they're going with here. You know, a tractor knife, you know, for our farmers out there. The tractor tread, well executed. Again, I wish you could feel these grooves. These are not just etched or burnt, you know, this, These are Traction. Love it, executed great. I don't think I've talked about overall length of this. This is a 4 7/5 inches, I believe, handle. And we have a 3.75 inch spear point blade. So it's a big one. You can do that math in your head. I might look stupid if I try to add all that up together. But you got 4.75 here and you got 3.75 here. And for your business end here, you got 3.5 inches of cutting edge. And it is a full flat grind. Of course, I didn't say probably 1095 carbon steel. I'm sure that's on the thing, the tube somewhere. GEC CAR on the back. It's carbon steel, full flat grind, and I'm going to tell you, it comes down pretty doggone slicey, pretty thin. Again, my measuring stick is kind of always Opinel. I kind of call them the king of slicing. This is pretty. This ain't Opinel, no, but pretty close. This will slice your tomatoes. It'll slice your strawberries darn thin. Sure will. I have no problem with the thickness behind the edge. What else is there left to say? Half stops, flawless, seamless, no stepping in half stop, full open, full closed. Everything is just flush, smooth as a baby's bottom. I think this is going to be a home run. My prediction, and again, I have had haven't had all of them, but they're big players. The 21, the 71, the Saudis, and even a 21 lockback I had at one time, and I haven't put it through. I haven't put it through its paces. I have not used this. When I touched it up, did my little. The only thing this blade's seen so far is a little oil and some receipt paper to make sure that my sharpening was where I wanted it. Have not used this yet, so temper this. I haven't used it. I really think I'm gonna like this. I will be shocked, and I will come back and tell you if I'm wrong. But the blade shape, I know how, I know what a spear point can do. I love it. It is a very universal blade shape. It's got your little puncturing. It's got a pretty good point on it. Like I said, it's broad enough, and that full flat with that full flat grind that it's going to slice. I think this is going to be my favorite knife ever out of their farming field. I feel that pretty confidently. But I can't say that officially till I've put this through some paces, which I have not. This is just an initial impression video, but I could not be more happy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first saw these tractor tread things here, I thought, is that just gimmicky? Man, they better execute that right. If that's just like, etched on there or like painted on there. If they have any, problems with that, like coming off or something, they better do that. If they're going for a tractor knife, they better do these treads or whatever right. And I didn't have it in hand. I took a chance on it. More than impressed from watching the videos on them. I am more impressed that this is when I got this in hand. Again, I wish you could see, wish you could feel the vision or see how well and nice and even all these treads are cut into this. They nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. Are all these as good as mine? What I'm telling you is flawless. And this is my eye too. Take that with a grain of salt. But I really have. And I'm not going to come on here and I have no affiliation with GEC. Don't even have a whole lot of them anymore. This is probably my 4th or 5th. I might have them, maybe not even that many. 3rd, 4th, 5th GEC I have in my collection now. I've had a bunch in the past and they've came and gone. My point is, I'm not going to sit on here and just hoop them up for nothing. If I'd have found a flaw, I'd have told you a flaw. This knife as of yet, is as close to flawless as I've seen. Nitpick could have been sharper. Could have still been sharper, but at least it would cut this time. So I'm not, I temper my complaining. This knife would cut out of the tube. So that's a step in the right direction. But when you get past that, this thing is immaculate. Love it, love it, love it. I told y'all it was going to be a positive review, and it just is. when it's positive and you can't find a flaw, then kind of is what it is. And they made this knife. You hear what I'm telling you? They made this one. So I am stoked to have this in the collection. Might even, and here I've already chose a big knife. You guys have been watching me for this Richter challenge. It would be overkill when me carrying that clasp knife for the next, rest of my 2 weeks to make that challenge and to carry this, but doggone it, I may have to. I may have to throw this in a back pocket or the other. I mean, I am chomping at the bit to carry this one. So redundant as it may be, I may have to throw this in my pocket some way, somehow, because I love it that much. So anywho, once again, and these are still dropping, if you didn't catch it at traditionalpocketknives.com, check out some of their other vendors. I know they're still dropping, and I could not recommend it more. Take that as you will. I give that one 9.75 out of 10. And I'm just being a stickler, and I'm docking on that 0.25 because it could have been sharper, but it was sharp. So this is as close as it can get to an HT10 for what it is. It's a slip joint, it's not a lock back, but for what this knife is supposed to do. Yeah. Anywho, 27 minutes here. I've gushed on this thing. Hope y'all stuck with me. God bless you if you did. And anywho, we will be on the road tomorrow, and hopefully wish us some safe travels, and we'll get back to you, Lord willing, and be back Wednesday with you another one. I love you. God bless you. I'm HT. We're out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to